Today I have come before you with a class on social studies, and that is on history. This chapter is included in the syllabus of class 10 history CBSE, and the name of the chapter is The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Today we shall deal about the nationalism and how it emerged in France. We shall go through every detail of the chapter, but before I start doing that, I would like to request you to like, share and subscribe this channel so that I can bring more and more videos, helpful educational videos before you, and that will work for the benefit of the students. Okay, now let's come to the point. Our chapter today is the rise of nationalism. What is nationalism? This question will come in your mind. What is nationalism? I have written the board, you can see the definition here. It is the desire of a group of people who share the same race, culture, language, etc. to form an independent country. The belief or the belief or the trust, or you can say that the realization that we belong to this country, we are the citizens of this country. This feeling, this pride is called nationalism. In India, it was a very large country, vast country in the past, but during the reign of King Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka, or the Emperor Akbar, Aurangzeb, we could create this feeling of nationalism in India, but in the other times, during the other parts of history, our country was also divided in small segments, like the Marathas, the Bengals, and then the other the parts the people who belong to different parts, and this feeling of nationalism was created finally in India after the arrival of British, when we started fighting against the British imperialism. Then slowly and gradually the feeling of nationalism emerged in India. But today we shall deal about the nationalism in France. So I have got the definition of nationalism here. Now, how it started. Frédéric Sorel, he was a French artist visualizing his dream of a world made up of democratic and social republics. They are identified through flag and national costumes, offering homage to the Statue of Liberty. Sorel is a French artist, and he made a picture. In that he presented that there is a line of democratic countries, democratic republic countries. They are coming to offer homage to the Statue of Liberty because it was a symbol of liberty, independence. It shows that all the countries of Europe are going to be democratic, and they are coming out from the monarchy, system of monarchy. Third point, the expression of French nationalism came with the French Revolution of 1789. When French revolutions happened in the year 1789, from that year, the expression of French nationalism came to exist. Gradually, with the passage of time, it took a larger shape and created nationalism in the whole France. Number 4, the ideas of la patrie, that means the fatherland, and les citoyens, the citizen, emphasized a united community, equal rights under a constitution. Now, how this feeling would be created? We could create the feeling of nationalism in the heart of the people. There must be some symbols, some the images, some pictures, some books, ideas, songs. All those things are necessary in order to create. For example, in our country, we see that our national anthem, national hymns, Jana Gana Mana, and then the Vande Mataram, Sare Jahan Se Acha. Those songs are absolutely related with the feeling of nationalism in India, and this created a pride, the feeling of belonging to India. So these songs help in creating nationalism. And here, in the case of France, the idea of la patrie and the les citoyens that emphasized the united community, equal rights under the accepted constitution. Number 5, National Assembly, new hymns, means songs, oaths taken, martyrs commemorated, internal customs duties abolished, uniform systems of weights and measures. French became the official and common language. These are the step-by-step effort to inject, to inculcate the feeling of nationalism in the heart of the people of France. Like National Assembly was made, established, new hymns were composed, oaths were taken that they would work for France. Martyrs, those who gave life for the freedom of this country, those martyrs were commemorated. Internal customs duties, that means when the things were going from one place to another place inside the country, no custom duties were taken from that time, and the uniform systems of weights and measures were established, and French, not the dialect, not the local languages, rather the French became the official and the common language of the country. Jacobin clubs were set up by educated middle classes, and though they discussed the ideas of democracy, nationalism, republicanism, and those things, that was the set up by the educated middle classes. That things prepared the way for the French armies, which moved into Holland, Belgium, Switzerland, Italy in 1790. Now, when the nationalism was established in the country France wanted to carry on this idea of nationalism in the other country of the Europe also, and this happened because by the help of the Jacobin clubs. Those clubs prepared the ground to welcome French army, and French army went into those countries as Holland, Belgium, Switzerland, Italy. There they occupied that country and freed the country from monarchy, but at the same time kept the control in their hand. That means the French army kept the control of those countries, occupied countries, in their hand. Revolutionary wars, French armies carried the idea of nationalism abroad. They named it revolutionary wars. They fought against those countries where the monarchy was going on. They fought against those the soldiers, and finally they occupied those countries, French armies, and they spread the idea of nationalism in those new countries of Europe. Napoleon became the monarch, and in this way he destroyed democracy, introduced many reforms, revolutionary ideas. Napoleon now became the monarch of France, and by being the monarch of that country, he actually demolished or destroyed the basic idea of nationalism, because in nationalism, true nationalism, no monarch was accepted, no monarch was necessary there, no more monarch was needed, not needed there, but Napoleon became the monarch. So in that way you can say that Napoleon brought the revolution, at the same time he destroyed the idea of revolution, the idea of the nationalism in France. However, he introduced many reforms, revolutionary ideas also in those other countries of Europe. Civil Code of 1804, that was based on Napoleonic Civil Code of 1804, or you can call it that Napoleonic Code. This code abolished or did away with all privileges based on birth, established equality, secured right to property. New steps were taken by Napoleon, and in those new countries also they abolished all the special advantages or facilities. That was earlier, it was based on the birth. That means the people who belong to the high class of the society, the aristocratic society people, they were getting benefit in that country. But now those special privileges were abolished, and equality was established, secured right to property. Now people have the right to have property. So new steps were taken. Uniform laws were introduced, standardized weights. That means the weights, weighing system, that was the same throughout the whole country. Otherwise it could create big problem. So standardized weights and measures were introduced in the country. A common currency. So a common currency, that was the only one currency. Earlier there was a different currency in different parts of the country, in different sectors of that country. But now only one common currency was introduced in the whole country, and this helped the businessmen a lot. Businessmen were benefited by those new steps taken by the French government. And finally, with the increased taxation, censorship, forced recruitment to army. These are the negative sides of nationalism in France at that time. The taxation was increased, censorship that was also introduced on different things, forced recruitment to army, because French army needed more soldiers, and they started recruiting young people in the army, sometimes forced them to join the French army. So these are the negative sides, and these outweigh advantages. Definitely there are big advantages in the rise of nationalism in France, but as we know that there is some little darkness under the lighted lamp. So here also we find that there are some, the negative sides, dark sides that happened in France at that time, and this to some extent outweighed the advantages of nationalism. But still we have to accept that thing, that nationalism is a very important thing, and without nationalism no independence could be possible in any country, for any country. Thank you. We shall again come before you with a new video on an educational subject, and I wish that you should extend your all kind of support, trust and faith on me. Thank you very much.